Hi everyone. This activity is going to be a combination of a couple of things. One is going to be how to use custom blocks, which are the things labeled My Blocks in the pink tab. And then also it's going to be a little bit of debugging practice. Debugging is just finding errors in your code and fixing them. And after setting up a few basic custom blocks, you'll have a chance to debug, that is, find some errors in some other custom blocks that I already created and try to fix them. So first, how to use custom blocks. The way it works is if you want to create your own block, what you can do is just click Make a Block. Just click on the pink tab, this is My Blocks, and click Make a Block. And then whatever it's going to do, you sort of name it with that function. So let's just say I want to make a block that makes my sprite spin. So I'll call it spin. Click OK. And you'll see this thing pop up that says define. So what you're going to do is you're going to write the definition of your block, kind of like the definition of a word. And when Scratch goes to look up what the block does, it looks at the definition, kind of like when you look up what a word is in a dictionary. So when it looks up what is spin, it's going to see this. So what is spinning a sprite? What does it do? Well, the way we've been making something spin is just by repeating. So I'll put that under spin a bunch of times. I'll say like, I don't know, 50. And then turn. So turn 15 degrees 50 times. It's just going to turn a whole bunch. And that's going to make it spin. And then what you can do to use it is you just use it like any other block. So it looks just like a regular Scratch block, it's just a block. But the fact that it's pink indicates that it's one that you created yourself. And the thing that it does is whatever you told it to do. All it does is look at the definition and do that thing. So it's going to look at spin, and it's going to be like, what is spin? It's this. Repeat 50, turn 15 degrees. So now I put that under my when the 1 key is pressed, spin. So if I press the 1 key, my sprite spins. I notice that it's kind of crooked, so one thing I want to add to my spin is point in direction 90 when it's done. Let's try that. Notice I just made that change to the definition. The nice thing about that is now anytime I want something to spin, I could just use the spin block. I don't have to redo all of this. I can just use the spin block. It's the same thing. So it's like it compresses everything down into one block, which is useful as your code starts to get kind of long and harder to manage. You can group things together into your own blocks. So there's another feature that I wanted to point out when you create your own blocks. So I'll stick with this spinning theme, but this time I want to spin a specific number of times. So you can spin, so I'll say spin, I'm going to type my label, and then I'll add an input. So this thing right here says add an input. What that does is it lets you, it puts a blank space, just like in all those blocks, like, when it says move blank steps or turn blank degrees, where there's a blank and you type in something. This is just a space to type in something. And I'm going to say how many times to spin, so I'm going to say, I'll just put number here, so it's just a reminder that it's a number, and then I'm going to add another label. Let's say time, so it'll be move blank time, or spin blank times. And then I just want to point out that this is here. Your inputs can also be one of those diamond shaped things, those true-false values. The reason it says Boolean, it says add an input Boolean instead of a number or text. A Boolean value is just a true-false value. That's just the computer science terminology for that kind of value. All of those diamond-shaped blocks that you put inside conditions, those are all Boolean values. They're either true or they're false. Well, I'm not going to use any right now, but I just want to point out that you can also add those kind of inputs as well. So my definition of spin a number of times is going to be really similar to regular spin, except I want to spin a specific number of times based on this number here. How am I going to do that? Well, I can use a little bit of math to do that. I know that one spin is 360 degrees. I also know that, let's see, I could spin I could turn 36 degrees 10 times. That would add up to 360, right? So I could do 36 10 times. That would add up to 360 if I run that. But it spins really fast because 36 degrees is a pretty big jump. I could cut that in half. I could say spin 18 degrees 20 times, and that also adds up to 360. That seems like a more visible spin. Okay, so I know that every time I want to spin once, I have to spin 20 times. I have to repeat 20 times through this process. Well, that means what I can do is I can say 20 because I times number. Because the number of times you want to spin is going to be multiplied by 20, and every 20 is a spin. So now, if I grab my block, I'm going to go over to the pink tab, find my spin blank times. Let's say I want to spin 3 times. I press the 2 key, spin 3 times. What it's going to do is it's going to take that input that you just typed. That's the number. This sort of generic number here, that's the number that you type here. Whatever you type, that number gets used in the block, like for real. Like this isn't just any number, it's this number because I just typed it. So now when I press 2, 1, 2, 3, if I change this to a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just spinning the number of times that I type here because the block tells it to. That's what's in the definition. So that's how you create your own blocks. You just click make a block, and then you put the thing that you want it to do inside the definition, and then you just use it. Whenever you want to use it in your code, you just use it, like a regular Scratch block. So I created a few more. The thing is, they're all broken. So you'll notice all of these when 3 pressed, jump 3 times. The cat doesn't jump, it slides. When 4 pressed, change costume 3 times, it only changes once. I'll just change it back. I did that on purpose, like it didn't actually change costume 3 times because I clicked. Every time I click 4, it just changes 1 time. And then when 5 is pressed, it's supposed to draw a shape with 5 sides. It doesn't, it just spins. 6 is supposed to say today's date. It doesn't, it says hello today is, and then it just says goodbye. And then when 7 is pressed, it's supposed to count to 5. It gets stuck on 1. So that is the set of broken custom blocks, and the definitions are all down here. So using the starter that's available on Google Classroom, your job is to fix all of the broken blocks, all of the broken custom blocks. Make jump actually jump. Make change costume actually change costume that number of times. Fix the draw shape, the say today's date, and the count. Alright, so that's all for this video. Good luck.